Hey everyone, welcome back to Mendadak Media official channel. Today, we're diving into the electrifying world of punk rock. Get ready as we count down the 10 best punk rock bands that have left an indelible mark on music history. Let's get started. Formed in 1992 in San Diego, California, Blink-182 originally consisted of Tom DeLonge, Mark Hoppus, and drummer Scott Raynor. They gained attention with their debut album, Cheshire Cat, in 1995. Their breakout came with 1997's Dude Ranch, featuring the hit Damn It, followed by the massive success of Enema of the State in 1999, which included classics like What's My Age Again and All the Small Things. Blink-182 became synonymous with the pop-punk movement, impacting countless artists and shaping a generation of music fans. Their catchy melodies and humorous lyrics made them icons. After some lineup changes and a hiatus, they reunited in 2009, bringing new energy and albums like California in 2016. Despite challenges, they remain a beloved band in the punk scene. Blink-182 continues to tour and create music, proving their place in punk rock history. What's your favorite Blink-182 song? It's for the kids who feel like they don't fit in, the Misfits, the Rebels. At number 9, we've got the Sex Pistols. This band wasn't just another group of musicians, they were a cultural phenomenon that shook the very foundations of British society. Emerging in the mid-1970s, the Sex Pistols were the epitome of the punk rock movement, a genre that was as much about attitude and rebellion as it was about music. They were like a stick of dynamite shoved into the heart of the British establishment. Their music was loud, aggressive, and unapologetically confrontational. The Sex Pistols didn't just play songs, they delivered sonic assaults that challenged the status quo and demanded attention. Johnny Rotten, Sid Vicious, these guys were the definition of punk attitude, spitting in the face of authority and tearing down conventions. Johnny Rotten's sneering vocals and Sid Vicious's raw, unpolished bass lines became the soundtrack for a generation disillusioned with the political and social climate of the time. Anarchy in the UK, that song was a declaration of war. Released in 1976, it wasn't just a song, it was a manifesto. The lyrics, "I am an antichrist, I am an anarchist," were a direct challenge to the established order, a call to arms for the youth to rise up and demand change. It was a middle finger to the status quo, and it shook the UK to its core. The song's release coincided with a period of economic hardship and political instability in Britain, making its message even more potent. It resonated with a generation that felt ignored and disenfranchised. The Sex Pistols were raw, chaotic, and didn't give a damn what you thought. Their live performances were infamous for their unpredictability and intensity. They often ended in chaos, with the band members clashing with the audience or even each other. This unpredictability was part of their allure. You never knew what to expect at a Sex Pistols show. They pushed boundaries, challenged norms, and their impact on music and culture is still felt today. The punk fashion they popularized, ripped clothes, safety pins, and mohawks, became symbols of rebellion and nonconformity. Their influence extended beyond music, affecting art, fashion, and even politics. The Sex Pistols were more than just a band. They were a revolution set to music. Their brief but explosive career left an indelible mark on the world. They showed that music could be a powerful tool for social and political change, and their legacy continues to inspire new generations of artists and activists. The Sex Pistols may have burned out quickly, but their impact will be felt for years to come. At number 8, we've got The Clash. They were more than just a punk band. They blended punk with reggae, rockabilly, ska, and more, creating a unique and catchy sound. London Calling, man, that song's an anthem for the ages. It's got that reggae groove, punk rock energy, and Joe Strummer's voice grabs you by the soul. The Clash were all about social commentary, political awareness, and sticking it to the man. They blended genres and created something truly special. They were intellectuals with instruments, poets with power chords. The Clash proved that punk rock could have both brains and heart. At number 7, we've got Bad Brains. They broke down barriers and defied expectations as one of the first all-black punk bands. They came out of Washington, D.C. and hit the scene like a sonic boom. Their music was a fusion of punk rock energy and reggae rhythms, with a dash of funk. Bad Brains were fearless, innovative, and inspired a whole generation of musicians. They were a movement, a testament to the power of music to break down walls and bring people together. At number 6, we've got Green Day. They brought punk rock back to the masses in the early 90s. Dookie was a game changer, catchy, melodic, and impossible to ignore. Billy Joe Armstrong became the voice of a generation. Green Day wrote about real life, the struggles of growing up and feeling like an outcast. They tapped into something universal, resonating with kids all over the world. Green Day proved that punk rock could be both fun and meaningful. They made you want to jump up and down and sing along while also making you think about the world around you. At number 5, we've got Rancid. This band, formed in 1991 in Berkeley, California, quickly became a cornerstone of the punk rock revival of the 90s. Their music was a raw, gritty, and unapologetic blend of punk rock, ska, and hardcore, which resonated deeply with fans around the world. They brought a raw, gritty, in-your-face sound that was impossible to ignore. Their energy on stage was electric, and their passion for the music was palpable. Rancid's live performances were legendary, often leaving the audience in a state of euphoria and exhaustion. And Out Come the Wolves was a masterpiece of punk rock songwriting. Released in 1995, this album was a defining moment for the band and for punk rock as a whole. It was a perfect blend of catchy hooks, aggressive riffs, and heartfelt lyrics that spoke to the struggles and triumphs of everyday life. It was catchy, aggressive, and full of heart, with Ruby Soho becoming an instant classic. This song, with its infectious chorus and relatable lyrics, quickly became an anthem for punk rock fans everywhere. It was a song that captured the essence of what it meant to be young, restless, and searching for a place to belong. Tim Armstrong and Lars Frederiksen lived and breathed punk rock. Their dedication to the genre was evident in every note they played and every word they sang. They were not just musicians, they were storytellers, using their music to convey the raw emotions and experiences of their lives. Rancid never compromised, never sold out, and stayed true to their roots. They were a band that refused to conform to the mainstream, choosing instead to carve out their own path and stay true to their punk rock ethos. This authenticity endeared them to fans and cemented their place in punk rock history. They were a voice for the voiceless, speaking to the outcasts and rebels. Their music was a rallying cry for those who felt marginalized and misunderstood. Rancid's songs were anthems of defiance and resilience, offering a sense of hope and solidarity to those who needed it most. Rancid reminded us that punk rock was about more than just music. It was a way of life. It was about community, rebellion, and staying true to oneself. Their influence extended beyond their music, shaping the fashion, attitudes, and values of the punk rock culture. They were a band that proved punk rock could have both brains and heart. Their lyrics were thoughtful and introspective, tackling issues such as social justice, personal struggle, and the quest for identity. Rancid showed that punk rock could be both intellectually stimulating and emotionally powerful, leaving a lasting impact on their fans and the music world. At number 4, we've got the Misfits. This band wasn't just any punk rock group, they were the trailblazers of a whole new subgenre known as horror punk. They were horror punk pioneers, blending punk rock with macabre imagery. Their music was a unique fusion of fast-paced punk rock and themes straight out of a horror movie. Walk Among Us was a classic, dark, catchy, and full of sing-along choruses. Released in 1982, it was their first full-length album, and it left an indelible mark on the punk rock scene. Songs like Astro Zombies and Night of the Living Dead became anthems for fans who loved the blend of horror and punk. Glenn Danzig, with his baritone voice and stage presence, was a punk rock icon. His deep, haunting vocals gave the Misfits their distinctive sound. Danzig's lyrics often drew from horror films and comic books, creating a dark and theatrical atmosphere that was unlike anything else in punk rock at the time. The Misfits embraced the strange and the unusual, singing about zombies and monsters. Their live shows were a spectacle, featuring horror-themed props and costumes that made every performance feel like a scene from a horror movie. This theatricality set them apart from other punk bands and earned them a dedicated following. They proved that punk rock could be anything you wanted it to be. The Misfits showed that the genre wasn't limited to political anthems or songs about teenage angst. Instead, they opened the door for punk bands to explore a wide range of themes and styles. The Misfits were a band that was loud, fast, and unapologetically themselves. Their music was raw and energetic, capturing the rebellious spirit of punk rock. They didn't conform to any norms or expectations, and that authenticity resonated with fans. They were a band that proved punk rock could be anything you wanted it to be, as long as it was loud, fast, and unapologetically yourself. The Misfits' influence can still be seen today in countless punk and metal bands that draw inspiration from their unique blend of horror and punk rock. Their legacy is a testament to the power of staying true to your artistic vision, no matter how unconventional it may be. At number 3, we've got NoFX. They were the epitome of SoCal punk rock, fast, melodic, and full of sarcastic wit. Punk in Drublic was a classic, full of catchy anthems and hilarious lyrics. NoFX tackled serious issues with a wink and a nod, never taking themselves too seriously. They made you think, laugh, and want a mosh pit all at the same time. NoFX never compromised, never sold out, and stayed true to their punk rock roots. They were a voice for the disenfranchised and the outcasts. NoFX reminded us that punk rock was about having fun, speaking your mind and never taking yourself too seriously. For the #1 spot, the kings of goofy humor and catchy hooks, the Ramones. They were the soundtrack to a generation. When you talk about punk rock, you gotta start with them straight out of Queens, New York. They hit the scene in the early 70s with a sound that was raw, loud, and pure energy. They were like a runaway train, all leather jackets, ripped jeans, and 3-chord anthems. Blitzkrieg Bop, that song's like the national anthem of punk rock. Short, fast, loud, it's the blueprint. The Ramones influenced everyone from the Sex Pistols to Green Day. They provided the soundtrack to a generation's journey of self-discovery. And there you have it, our picks for the 10 best punk rock bands. Did your favorite make the list? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more music content. Thanks for watching, and keep rocking, and see you on another video.